So are you going to base a target build hour based on knowledge of the technician or how many bays they have, or because I've seen, I guess, how do you decide what a potential is, or is it just too abstract? Because I've seen shops with one bay per tech absolutely kill it, and they were
Mm-hmm.
just pumping out crazy numbers, and you look at it and go, I have no idea how you do this, because you only have one bay per tech, you have maybe three techs, and they're doing crazy numbers, like Luca is 2.5 bays, and he's putting out crazy numbers. Where you see, I heard of a shop. Maybe it was you, Lucas, who told me about it. But the guy has 10 bays, one tech, I think, and does. I mean, I do more in a week than what he does in a month, right? And he's got a ton of potential there, theoretically. If he has the right
Yeah.
technicians, he has the right car count, if everything kind of works together, he should be killing it with 10 bays. That's nuts. But he's not. So, but I've seen a lot of the shops that you consult with, Rick, just kill it with no room. So it can't be bay count. And sometimes the technicians are okay. So how do you decide, hey, we can do much better? We can start doing 50, 60, $70,000 a month per tech.
Well, this is where Lucas thought I was on drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, when we were first, I mean, I don't know if you want to share it or not, but
Yeah, we
what
share
were
it all the
you
time.
what were you doing when we first started a
We
month in
we
sales?
were doing, we were doing. I thought 14 to 20,000 a month was killer, right? And
I,
it was working me to death to do that.
I was thinking it was 15 to 17
Yeah,
when we first started, right in that range.
right.
So one of the things I do is I look at the skill level of the technician. Okay, with an A tech, 8 hours a day working, he should be able to produce 10 to 12 hours. A B tech should be able to produce 8 to 10 hours a day. And a C tech should be somewhere between 5 and 7. Now, this is dispatching to strengths. If you give a C tech a check engine light, you should probably just swallow the bullet now. It's going to get ugly. So you gotta make sure that you're dispatching to strengths. The other thing is, a lot of times when you have a technician production issue, it is not actually the technician. It's a bottleneck, it's a workflow or communication issue,
Yeah.
or it could be the person in the mirror. That would be where the owner gets ready in the morning and sees himself in the mirror.
And they
So
create a mess every single time they walk into the office. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, let me
yeah,
ask you this real quick, because you were talking about A techs, B techs, and C techs. Oh, you're a small shop, maybe you're a one man shop, and you want to hire that first technician. Do you go after the most expensive person, and theoretically the most skilled technician you can find, or do you take the mindset, and I think I know how you're going to answer this, but or do you worry about being able to pay them? I remember hiring my first like real tech, had their own toolbox, and I didn't have to lend them my tools, which was a huge deal for me. Hiring somebody that came with experience, AC certified, had their own toolbox, and they were asking for X amount of dollars. I remember freaking out. How am I going to cover their payroll? I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay them, and even if I can pay them, I'm going to stay busy enough, and what's going to happen if we get slow? I was very anxious. So how do you talk to somebody that maybe is moving to that first technician? Because I think a lot of one man shops go after a C tech or an apprentice or somebody I can help teach,
Yep.
or just a helper, rather than going for the most skilled person they can find. How would you
so
advise?
so the first thing is, a lot of times is like, I need help. Why? Because I'm doing too much. And then we hire somebody that we've got to babysit and watch and train. So what we did was essentially add more to our plate,
Yeah.
not take some away. And yeah, we're saving a little bit of money, but now the hours that you were producing by yourself now drop because you're babysitting this apprentice And you're wondering why costs are up because you got to pay for the apprentice, but hours are down because you're not turning the hours you were before. So your answer to that is I'll come in at 5 in the morning or I'll work till 12 at night. I won't see my kids. My wife will divorce me, and that's the end of it. You want to hire the very best person you can. You want to get that A tech so they're actually taking something off your plate. Now, you don't want to cut them loose too soon. You want to make sure. We actually had a process where we had to check. They had to show me that they could use a piece of equipment. You got that patch on your shoulder. That don't mean squat to me. It's nice to have. It shows intent. It shows career mindedness, not a job. Right? Job stands for just over broke. But it starts out. So I had a guy. I walked. I had a new tech out in the shop, and I walked out into the shop. And Lucas has heard the story before, but I walk out in one of our dead stalls. There's smoke billowing out from underneath the hood of this car. I went running over, and the guy's got the old Snap-on carbon pile AVR tester on the battery, and he's got it ramped down so hard he actually cracked the carbon tiles inside, which were like $800 to replace. But it was smoke. It was actually the smoke coming off of the carbon pile. And this was supposedly a certified master tech. So my thing is, you got to show me how to load test a battery. Show me how you do a conductance test. Show me how you do a test on antifreeze to see if there's voltage. Show me how you do a ripple test. Show me how you load an alternator. Show me how you start a draw. How do you look for voltage drop? They actually have to show me that before I cut them loose.
So what do you say to somebody that isn't a trained technician? I've met shop owners that either bought a business and they thought that it was quote unquote turnkey and they were going to be able to pull 20% out of the business and it's going to be better than putting it in the market. And all of a sudden they've got headaches and they're not a trained technician. They don't know. They hire somebody and the guy comes with a bunch of credentials and a giant toolbox and a patch. And he says, I can fix anything. How do they approach it? To be able to at least know that this person is competent.
So one of the things we've got to have, if I don't have the skill set myself, I have to develop the resources. Now, one of the things I highly recommend, if somebody's coming to me and saying, hey, I know nothing about cars, I know nothing about the industry, one of the things I talk to them about then is about looking at franchises. Because the franchises are going to show them the model, they're going to show them how to price, they're going to teach them how to sell, they're going to work them through the processes they have in place, because that's basically what you're buying the franchise. You're buying a business model that already works. So that's the way to go if I have no experience with a tech. Now, if I bought into a business and have zero experience and I'm already there, then I need resources, either a tech that's already there that can sign them off, that I trust, or I have a friend of mine that's another shop owner that I know is a great tech. I mean, I send all my drivability stuff to him. Maybe I have him come over a couple of nights and I have him go through it with the tech.
Great advice. That's good. I like that.